Join me as I dive deep into my story and finally speak out after years of silence. Can I share my truth without holding back? Growing up as the bishop's daughter wasn't easy. It came with a lot of expectations and pressures that I couldn't always handle. People often see the position of a bishop and think it's all about respect and admiration, but behind closed doors, it can be really tough, especially for those closest to them. You think you know Bishop Drew Sheard? But what if we told you the truth was hidden in plain sight? Until now, after years of silence, his own daughter has finally stepped forward with a painful confession that's shaking the gospel world to its core. What she reveals will leave you speechless. This isn't just another family story. This is the side of the Sheard legacy the cameras never wanted you to see. In the world of gospel music and black church leadership, few names carry as much weight and respect as Bishop Drew Sheard, a man celebrated for his ministry, his music legacy through the legendary Clark sisters, and his powerful influence as presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ. But behind the pulpit, behind the applause, and behind the polished public image lies a truth that's been buried for far too long. Today, for the first time ever, we're peeling back that curtain, and it's not coming from critics, gossip blogs, or anonymous sources. This time, the voice is coming from inside the family. His own daughter, known for her poise and protection of the family legacy, has finally stepped forward to tell her side. And trust us, it's not what the world expected. What led to her breaking her silence now? What has she been holding back all these years? And what does it say about the pressures, expectations, and hidden pains behind one of the most respected families in gospel history? You won't believe what she reveals and why the church might never be the same again. So stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to break it all down: the real relationship between Bishop Drew Sheard and his daughter, her emotional revelations and how long she's carried this silent burden, the public and private pressure that came with being born into a gospel empire, and why her words have left even the most loyal fans and followers in absolute shock. This is where it gets real, and it's only the beginning. From the outside looking in, growing up as the daughter of Bishop Drew Sheard and Karen Clark Sheard might seem like a blessing. A front row seat to gospel greatness. Their home was seen as holy ground, filled with music, praise, and leadership. But what the public didn't see was the immense pressure that came with carrying a last name so powerful in the gospel industry. According to close sources and past interviews, life inside the Sheard household wasn't always filled with harmony. While love and faith were strong, expectations were even stronger. Every move she made, how she dressed, how she spoke, how she sang, was scrutinized not only by her parents, but by the entire church community. She wasn't allowed to simply be a child or a teen exploring her identity. She was the daughter of gospel royalty, and that came with a price. In her emotional confession, she admitted that she felt more like a symbol than a daughter at times. She was expected to be perfect, modest, and obedient. Not for her sake, but for the sake of her father's image. That's where the pain started. I was always told to smile, to sing, to represent the family with grace, she revealed. But what about how I felt? What about my truth? Her words struck a chord with many, especially those who grew up as PKs, pastors' kids, knowing all too well the invisible cage that comes with living under a microscope. The daughter didn't ask to be a public figure, but the spotlight found her from the day she was born. I've struggled with the idea of living up to my father's reputation and the church's standards. It felt like I was constantly being watched and judged, and any mistake I made would reflect poorly on him and the church. That weight was crushing at times. There were times when I felt like I was losing myself in all of this. I had to put on a mask to fit in, to make sure I didn't bring shame to my family or our church community. It was exhausting trying to maintain that image all the time. The hardest part was not being able to express myself freely. I had to bottle up my emotions and thoughts, fearing that speaking out would cause a scandal or hurt to those I love. It was a very isolating experience. As I grew older, I began to realize the toll the silence took on my mental health. I struggled with anxiety and depression, feeling trapped in a life that wasn't truly mine. It took a lot of courage to acknowledge that I needed to make a change. A pivotal moment for me was when I realized that my silence wasn't protecting anyone, it was actually harming me. I started to see that by speaking out, I could find my own voice and possibly help others who were going through similar struggles. Speaking out has been a journey of self-discovery and healing. It's allowed me to confront the pain and the fear that held me back for so long. I'm not looking for sympathy or pity, I'm looking for understanding and connection. My journey isn't about airing dirty laundry or causing controversy, it's about being honest and authentic. I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire others to find the courage to speak their truth, no matter how difficult it may seem. In summary, my story is one of struggle, resilience, and ultimately, hope. It's a reminder that we all have the power to break free from the chains that silence us and to live authentically. If you've been through something similar, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Also, check out our other video on the channel about overcoming adversity and finding your voice. Thanks for the watching and subscribes.